We yeah. Calling the meeting to order. It is 4:30 exactly, and we have 3 out of 4 for a quorum. Julia did notify us that she's out of town. Do we have any additions or adjustments to the agenda? I have none. I need a motion to approve the minutes from January 16th.
So moved. Second.
All right, any comments or corrections? All in favor? 3. Take a look at the warrants in here and might look these lower than they find just because I haven't had a chance to. Should have been. Air and water quality, is that annual type of testing, probably? Yes. I don't know which schools, if it was all schools. Page 2. And I should know this, Fabian oil, do we typically use Fabian oil for propane? Oh, for the propane, yeah. And, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, Miller transitioned over to propane, so we have propane instead. It's their time for oil.
They're all on a big basis anyway.
This is a cool art service. Equipment for the kitchens. I want to say stoves, ovens, that sort of thing. Page 3.
Precision tank, what is that? Or 17,000?
That's a good question. You look that after. Wonder if that's the Warren School thing. It's not too early for that. I mean, that goes in Jan. Brian may know, he's at home. I'll look it up while you look through some. That's why we can't. That's a lot.
Precision tanks, probably. Certifications. A lot of money, but.
I'm sorry, what you asked on Maslowski? Yeah, Maslowski, yeah, athletics. I'm just not sure what competitors. Depending on some of the competitions, they pay for like a registration fee. Yeah, when they like a whole bunch of schools are going for one competition. It's not frequent. Sometimes we pay for fields, but I don't think that was the case in Maslowski. It's usually firms. application for that. Not the second set. Page 3. Kristen Opignano. I'm on page 3, down near the bottom. So 1,050. That's one. Precision tanks.
Precision tanks, that was the computer and programming that controls our fuel tank that I presented, that I briefed the board on, and that was the one that we had to go with a single source because it was all a single vendor that has the tank, and I'm losing the proper term that I'm looking for this.
Proprietary.
Pardon?
Proprietary.
Proprietary, thank you very much.
For here at the middle school.
But here in the middle school, yeah. If anybody wants to see it, we can let the boiler room.
Thank you, Brian.
Yep.
Probably these systems. 34,000 on page 3 of 1. That is the body of visual sensor.
That's something college, You purchased something from Pro AV? You purchased something from Pro AV? The vendor Pro AV.
We use Pro AV.
Yeah, what is it for?
What is it?
34,000. Purchased it in January, 34,000 in January.
That, oh, I can't be pumped that before. It is the Promethean boards for middle school. And that was that's the installation we did there. They have a state-related contract for AV, so it kind of it falls within, and the negotiated pricing, I already saw them in the price on that.
It's just because we're looking at January stuff in March.
True.
Because we have a February meeting or, I don't know.
It's a little crazy.
Kristen is, a person that does classes for adult ed. I am on the next one. This is February. Chicago.
So every time I pay the town wall, now that's for, resource officer, I believe,
Mostly, once in a while we pay for extra,
or an ambulance service, or something like that.
yeah, and like during graduation, we pay additional money for additional police officers, various things like that, but we do pay them monthly for, yes, sir.
Back on the second set we was doing, this Naomi McPhee, $900 or close to it. That,
Transports a student, they transport a student. All right, we are on to the next one. Most of the checks are dated the 20th, February 20th.
shut down.
Page 3.
You'll see OTR manufacturing. Last week.
It's over the road trailers.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. I don't know if they were doing a repair on one of ours. Had to ask Brian, I don't recall. But they built a trailer for us a few years ago.
Good.
And on page 4. I don't know. Yeah. Which one? Murphy and Dumpy. Dumpy? Murphy. Athletic trainer. Oh, that's where. I only remember because their first name was Murphy. Yeah, I remember him saying that name right now. Very good with the check marks. We are looking at financials for February. No, the red revenue, that's a good, that's good.
That's a good thing. Usually isn't. but-
Correct.
Really.
Three. Look at self-contained at, Medonic Middle. Is that just a salary discrepancy from what was budgeted, or is there something else that's going on there?
It's mainly staffing.
Yeah.
They moved some people down to Miller School too, and I'm not sure that all of it was moved correctly, but they moved some staff going.
When we were paying a teacher as a substitute, did it come out of there or did it come out of a different?
No, they both come out of there. Yeah, so there was subs and, yeah, subs in both Miller. It's hard when we budget for ed techs particularly because we never know what they're gonna come in at and whether they're gonna take health insurance. And so we try to do kind of the middle of the road. And some years that works, and other years we get lucky, and other years. One of the other things actually in self-contained is, students with special purpose private schools. Yeah, and there's some in here and there's some in local entitlement, and not all the children that persuaded to go have been going. For whatever reasons.
Yeah, all the way original.
Yeah, like, some fees, some significant money.
And library, this was before where library was hired, right? So that hadn't been encumbered yet. Would that be correct?
Correct, so the live, we just hired him this month, so yeah. Was that just the last quarter?
Yeah, I think so. Page 5. So our administration for particularly union,
Yeah, I was
isn't
just
it
gonna speak
over
over,
because of
we're
the,
having some staffing differences than anticipated. With some substitutes. So I'm waiting, I'll need to probably move on between articles before the year is over. That's where the principals sit. I was kind of waiting until it got closer to the end of the year to think about how much we'll need, and we can take it from. It's not gonna be, I'm completely comfortable with it.
and those are not like it will be in the high school or just changes in benefits probably is that amount.
The high school, the other one, I think is just substitute costs as well. But there has been, actually, there was some benefit changes for some people who want to get that follow the administration. Administration is principals and their administrative systems in their system. In the same, that million, the last civic room that I have secretary to share.
All right, open at, adult ed. Service. When, we're talking about the federal food program, is that coming through on this line through state reimbursement?
Correct.
Does it come to the state and then to us?
Yeah, so the way it works, from everything I can understand, is the federal government, as they always have, does do the free and reduced students. At some point, which predates me, they started paying full amount for the reduced students. So it used to be, free for free and then a lesser amount, but they started reimbursing us the same for both free and reduced. And then, sometimes since I've been here, Governor Mills was making up the difference, which made everyone free. So by our calculations right now, the amount of money we're getting is, it's either 51 or 52% of our children are free and reduced. So the amount we get will be less, less that if that money gets removed. you know, it's like all the federal funding, we're not sure what's gonna happen, but one of the things we have been told is it's highly likely they're gonna require proof of income, which is something that they have never done. It's always just been a form, you put what you put, we put it into our database. And there are 3 or 4 that are picked by an algorithm by the state to be audited. And we send a letter saying, please provide us proof of income. If they don't, they would go on the not free list. And if they did, fine. But it would only be 3 or 4 and they weren't picked by us. Now it's being proposed that everyone needs to turn that in. So I suspect that will significantly impact us because people will not be comfortable turning in that financial data to us.
Just change the numbers, just change who's comfortable sharing that information.
Right. You know, concerns and confidentiality and that sort of thing. You know, right now, the kids bring them back to school in their backpacks and stuff like that, right? So,
Does the state reimburse at the same rate that the federal reimburses?
I think it's probably slightly less as I recall, but I don't remember for sure. So it may be that once the state decides what the state's gonna do, they're not going to pick up the difference and the full paid students will need to go back to paying. Because last year we reduced it from 125,000 down to 55,000 for the local tax base.
I was just trying to, nobody can guess what's gonna happen, but
Yeah.
what if we didn't have a federal program? What percentage of what's being reimbursed is coming from federal versus the state? And it's, you know, the state gonna pick that up.
Sure. Which does open a whole different list of questions, right? If we're not getting funded by the federal government, do we follow the federal government guidelines, meals, et cetera?
Does that come directly from the federal government, doesn't feed through the state?
We get it through one reimbursement through the state. I don't know what that looks like on their end, but we get it all. We have to submit it into a system and we have to prove what we paid, how many, we have to track the students' participation, all that. We submit it and then they reimburse.
Any other questions on the February financials? Did anyone in the audience have anything to contribute? Thank you. No action items. Other items on here we've left, monitoring the financial condition of the district and redistricting in classroom sizes, just in case we wanted to have any more of that discussion here. I think we probably will have most of that discussion at the next meeting, so we probably don't need to get too deep into the redistricting thing. I guess the only question I'd have is, of the different options we've talked about, what financial impacts are they? And I don't think there is much at this point, because we're going to build
Building on the middle school or the.
Yeah, those would be
schools, the
significant.
definitely a significant amount of money. I think marginal difference as far as transporting, which is really kind of my universal or the building piece of it. Since we're not gaining students, I guess the money we probably shift with the teachers and the students.
Redistricting and reducing teachers and going more down to school would save about $1 million.
Yeah. If we were extreme with the redistricting, which I don't know that anyone's ready for.
Yeah, or actually over time.
Yeah.
Right, in today's dollars, right?
Right.
You could ask me about health insurance, maybe at the end of last meetings or something. I wasn't sure if you meant like, what do we pay or what do we offer in the different collective bargaining agreements?
I was wondering what our choices are to offer our employees, or if we are, this is what we can offer them, like through, I don't know exactly how that, I think we might have had this conversation once before, but,
A lot of businesses usually like quote out
Have several different ones.
of several different things. Do we have an option to do that or? is it-
I think we do, although I'm not well versed in it, because we always send it to us and then through the state,
Yeah.
which I can't imagine we could get it at a better rate because the state has a lot of bargaining.
So they're doing the bargaining
Correct.
for us.
And within that, all of our collective bargaining agreements are the same right now. So with single health insurance is paid 100% by RG40. Family and adult with a child or two adults is 80% paid by the district. We got no idea what that's gonna be this year. We still haven't heard what our minimum maximum is gonna be. But this year it runs around 12,000 for a single insurance for the district to pick up, and around 22 or 23 for a family, and it's slightly less for a parent-child or two-parent is what the district picks up, and then the employee picks up the 20% difference, unless they're a part-time employee, 80% employee.
So every school that uses their plan, that's the plan. There are several tiers within that we could choose from.
There are a couple, and if you want more information, I can have Holly put it together for me. There are a few versions, like there's one where you have a slightly higher deductible, so you pay less as the employee and the employer pays slightly less. There's like 3 versions of that, but it's more based on the deductible, but they don't swing greatly. But as far as like going out to bid per se, I don't know what that would look like, but I assume we could.
Do we have any inkling of what insurance, what's gonna happen with the rest of the insurance?
Health insurance, you mean? Or,
Yeah. By the workman's comp and all that stuff.
no, we haven't heard too much about workers' comp. Our property insurance, I had originally put it in at 20% and they were able to meet. And they got back to me and said they predicted to be between 15 and 18%. It's gone up 20% every year for the last 2 or 3 because of the replacement cost of materials. So this is a little bit better, but obviously not great. Health insurance, the last we knew was they still haven't given us the min-max, but was saying that overall within the trust, it's almost an 18% increase. And in addition to that, they had put like $28 million into last year's to bring it down, so they need to make up for that difference as well. I budgeted at 10 and I'm feeling like I might have hedged that one on.
There's so many variables. You had to really budget it. There's so many variables.
They said that there's been a high use in their letter, not just to us, but to everyone within the, the insurance world, which are all, state employees. And I know from the quarterly letters that I received, we've had within our report, very high use of our insurance capacity.
What are you thinking about, Noah? What are you thinking about?
Just that everything, nothing ever costs less.
No.
Probably get a
It seems to me that the public is looking at a lower budget, but there's no way. Everything's gone up.
Yeah.
Everything's gone up 15% at least. Then you add groceries and fuel on it.
Definitely not exempt from the increases that everyone is seeing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this district, any district,
Yeah.
whatever, is not exempt from what everybody's seeing. So where does the money come from to make that up? We're gonna have to budget for it.
Yeah.
We keep, and then if they turn it down or keep turning it down or whatever. I've closed school, something.
It means we'll make drastic changes that aren't gonna please everyone. For sure. All right, I think that we could probably adjourn, that way we're all ready for the next meeting and that might be a bigger conversation. Classroom stuff. Okay with that? All right, so
So move.
5:12, we're adjourned. Thank you.